welcome to I've Got Something to Say, Tales of the Awkward Woman. And with guests, y'all.
Hey, y'all.
I got Miss Jordan here. You guys, she's a comedian, intercessor. But then on top of that, she's someone I've gotten to know over the past few years. So I asked her to come on and share some of her experiences with us. Jordan, anything you want to say to the peoples?
Just hello, and I'm so proud of her. I was just telling her, y'all, I'm so proud of her. This is amazing to see her beautiful face pop up in my mentions and stuff you should know or what you missed for the day. It is amazing, and to see the representation unapologetically. Listen, I'm with this. I'm rocking with you.
Thank you. She's rocking me over. All right, Jordan, you ready to jump into this?
Yes, ma'am. Let's do it.
All right, so Jordan first. And tell us about an experience you had with dating. It could be any experience.
Any experience. I guess I'll tell y'all about the last experience that I just had with dating. I tried to make something fit that wasn't right. And I attempted to lessen my value so that somebody else could feel better. And for the sake of company, which is terrible. So he, what can I say? He basically, how do I describe it? So we've been on and off, talking and building since we were 19. I'm 23 now, right? We are a few months apart. He turns whatever the age that we are now, he turns it before me. Cause he's like a year. He was born a year before me, but we spent a little bit of time being the same age, right? So we're basically practically the same age. He pursued me at first. He pursued me. I wasn't even paying attention to the dude. And then out of that came a false commitment on my part, because I just, once I'm for you, I'm for you. Like, I'm an all or nothing person. So once I committed myself and once I saw myself with him, for me, I could talk to you all day, but I saw a future with him. And that's where I messed up. And I let boundaries down and I let my guard down when I should. He didn't deserve that. He didn't earn that part of me. So that was my mistake. Long story short, we were on and off. We ended up cutting it off because I, of course, with the help of the Lord, but also with me starting to recognize my worth and my value, which is something that I have always struggled with, right? And I looked at myself and I said, you deserve better. You deserve more. And not that he's not an amazing individual, because I will sing his praises even still to this day. I have not punched him in his face. But yeah, he, listen, cause he sent me off. We were supposed to be committing to each other, and he hit me a week before I broke it off with him. He hit me up with a what is that? A hypothetical question, but I discerned that it was the truth. And the hypothetical question was, if I had a baby, would you still be around? Yeah. And you know what I said? I laughed it off the day of, but then I called him back and I said, no, I'm worth more. I deserve more. And even, we weren't even official yet, but I had already committed myself to him, to his future, to building stuff with him, to seeing him build stuff on his own, all of that good stuff. And he's not a terrible person, but that was just some F-boy stuff. And I just had to let it go.
Wow. I understand that from that perspective of, as a woman, you commit yourself to someone who's not fully committed to you. And understanding your worth is huge, especially for women. And it's more important for us to understand as young girls. Through all of that, what did you learn about yourself? Like, how did you, I know you talked about how you was able to let it go, but what did you further learn about yourself as a person and as a woman from that situation?
I definitely learned that because I'm a fast-paced person and an all-or-nothing person, I definitely learned that I needed stricter boundaries for relationships. And I saw why I had failed myself in that area simply because I have a fear of being alone. And that's probably one of my biggest fear, aside of failing. My other, like, underneath that would be I have a fear of doing stuff like by myself, and not because he appeared to understand me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, no. So the work piece in a whole is like, hey, pacing yourself is okay. Asking the right questions, right? Allowing myself to just take my time, because I'm used to instant results.
Oh yeah.
I'm used to doing stuff fast. Like even what I do, as it pertains to comedy, sometimes after a set, if I've been working on a joke and that joke doesn't get the response that I wanted it'll still be a good response, but it's not the response that I wanted. I'll beat myself up about it because I just like, let's go, let's get it done, let's do this. But it taught me how to pace myself, but it also revealed that because I'm a creative person, I have a fantasy land that I escape to when I feel alone, abandoned, or rejected, right? So it showed me as an adult that fantasy world is still alive. As a child, I encountered a lot of trauma, and now, you know, it's the fantasy land or world that I created. I thought I killed it. Oh, I'm healed. Oh, I didn't, whatever. But God used that to expose, oh no. Because I had already created a reality with this man, and it was with his permission, of course. Like, he was going with it, but I hadn't talked to God about this. I had been hiding certain details from authority figures, if you will. So people that can pose the right questions to trigger me to think. Because I'm the type of person, I'm obedient. Like, I would say my obedience is radical. Like, somebody tell me no, I'm not going to do it. God tells me no, I'm not going to do it. But in fantasy land, that's not God's world, that's mine. So if I allow myself to nurture this relationship, build this relationship, and be with this person in the ramifications of the fantasy land, then it's okay. Because that's my world. It's not God's world. It's not a partnership like reality, which is partnership. God guiding me, leading me, putting the brakes on stuff. So it just showed me the need to further kill that, because I am a creative and because I am a visionary and because I don't want to ever avoid reality to the point where I'm not healing, not growing, not processing well, and not growing and maturing as a person. So yeah,
I think that's something many of us, especially creatives and women, should like really sit down and examine and evaluate within ourselves, because we're so quick to be like, oh, he the one, and then you start building a whole world in your mind with someone, and again, without God's permission, and you're like, well, why didn't this work out? Did you before God? I thought he was the one. No, I didn't give you permission for him, you know? So, one more question real quick, Jordan.
Yes, ma'am.
If you could give any piece of advice to my viewers, what would it be?
Ask the right questions to yourself, to whoever your spouse or the relationship, your partner. Ask the right questions. Also, ask God the right questions, and don't be afraid of the answers. For a long time, I tried to avoid the answer to questions, so I just did not answer the questions. You know what I'm saying? Please, always stay hungry, stay curious for knowledge. The Bible says, where does it say this? David's son, Solomon, the man of wisdom. I think it's in Ecclesiastes where it says, I'm about to paraphrase real bad. This is not King James, but it says something like unto desiring wisdom, you know, and wisdom being like happiness, if you will. A man that desires or goes after wisdom will have life, but your life is wasted if you just go after happiness, right? So I try to, even in relationships, no matter what ship, friendship, boyfriendship, girlfriendship, all of these ships, right? Ask the right questions, go after knowledge, go after wisdom, and apply the wisdom. Because if you don't apply the wisdom, it's just a knowing, it's just information. So if you don't go after this wisdom, if you don't live out this wisdom, if you don't regurgitate and pass on the wisdom, then life is redundant. So yeah, and trust God. Trust God. This experience also revealed to me that I don't trust God. I know that I desire it. People prophesy about my kids and my husband, but I was so fixated on what was before me that I didn't trust God for more and for better because of how I viewed myself. So just trust the Lord at every angle, and yeah, that's it.
That's so good, guys. That is all the time we have for you today. As always, like and subscribe, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Thank you, Jordan, again for coming.
Thank you for having me. Thank y'all.
Yes, wasn't she so good? Yes.